Oh. Hello and welcome. It's a lovely, bright, sunny day here in Manchester. As you can tell by the halo effect of my grey locks being hit by the sunshine through the basement window. And it's time for another Monday morning musing. Doesn't time fly? Anyway, right, what have I been up to? Well, over the last week or so, I've not really had much time to do any painting. Not because I haven't wanted to. It's just that it's been really, really busy. We were down at I was down in London the latter half of last week in meetings to do work and stuff. So I haven't had much time. What I have done though is obviously, as you know, over the last few weeks I've been working on more and more to do with the imaginations that I'm doing, and there's a piece of software that I've been wanting to buy for ages, but I've never actually seen the point. I was watching some stuff on YouTube, and I saw this piece of software being used. I thought, actually, that's quite interesting. So I went and bought it, and it's a product called Fractal Terrain 3 from Pro Fantasy. So what I'll do now, because it's just absolutely incredible, is I'll show you a bit of what it does and why it's eating up such a lot of my time. Run VT. Right then, Fractal Terrains. Just get Windows up. Hang on, so you can see it. And there we go. And this is Fractal Terrains, right? It's a thing that generates worlds fractally. So let's create a new world. We'll create a synthetic world, made up world basically. We'll give it a highest peak of 3,000, lowest depth of 3,000, 25,000 mile circumference. We'll give it a random number and we'll use this. We'll make it a bit rougher and we'll give it a bit more sea and we'll keep the lands large. Okay, so you ready? There's a new world. And what you can do is you can keep on cycling through worlds until you find one that you like. That's nice. That's a nice world. It's got a couple of continents. Just give you a quick clue. This continent here, for example, is 1,877 or 1,878 miles basically wide. But we like that. So what I'll do is split off this particular continent here, that one and that one. So what I'll do for that is we'll zoom in. I can remember where that is. There we go. So we'll zoom into there so we can get this bit of land, and we get this little tool here, and then we basically, it's a fractal paintbrush this, so you can, I don't know whether you can see that yet, but you can erode the land away. And so now we've got a separate continent there. We'll zoom out again. So there it is, separate. Then we'll split this one off here because we don't want that one to be joined either. Lower the land and we split that off. So there you go. And I've been doing this all week with various bits and pieces, just learning how to use the software because it's quality stuff. Alright, so say we want to make it a bit more higher over there, well, we'll just raise the land a bit. So I don't know whether you can see anything happening yet, but that land is actually getting higher. When I finish with the paintbrush, you'll see it. It's only getting marginally higher. It's going to take a while. But we can make mountains again, so I can make these mountains bigger. And eventually they'll get to such a height that they'll get snow on. At the moment they're about 17,000 feet. Getting a bit higher now. Can you see how it's getting darker? So I'm determined to get some snow on these. Let's make a big peek here. Can you see the snow arriving? We're at 23,000 now. And there we are at 30,000 feet. So we've got a 30,000 foot high mountain there. I'm going to let this go. It'll meld all the rest of the landscape in to fit it. So there you go. It's all fitted there nicely. So that's Fractal Terrains, and that's basically what I've been playing with for the last week or so. So now we've got 4 nice continents. It's actually on a globe. I can export it out as a globe, and you see it as a globe, but I won't bother to do that. It takes too much time. Let's find some rivers. We'll find some rivers. We'll make them medium rivers, so it'll calculate the rivers based on world heights. We'll go like that, and we'll just do that, and then the rivers should appear, do they? Maybe not, but there you go. That's software for you. Things change. But yeah, it's so cool. I love it. And what this does is this exports out into. You can either save it as a bitmap like that, JPEG, or you can export it out as lots of different maps for Campaign Cartographer, and then you can build up the world. But this is what I've been doing over the last week because it's great fun. But I'll put a link into Pro Fantasy below if anybody's interested in getting any of this stuff. It's not cheap, but it isn't critically expensive. But it's cool. Anyway, back with the news. Oh, one more thing, because somebody's bound to ask. Yes, this is a Mac, and this is Windows running in Mac. What it is, it's something called VirtualBox. That's VirtualBox. It's basically a virtual machine from Oracle, and it's free. If you want to know more details, just give us a shout, and I will tell you all about VirtualBox. So we can run Windows in a window, which is cool, isn't it? All right, now seriously, back on with the news. So there you go. That's Fractal Terrains 3, and it's top. I don't think it's going to be as useful as I wanted it to be, but we'll find out. One of the problems that I've encountered is making sense of the exports, but that's beyond the scope of this video. I'll be looking at that in my own time. I'll report back to you if anybody's interested. Some other stuff I've been doing, obviously with my antiquity and early Roman projects. I did buy this from Amazon. It looks a bit like a kid's book, and it probably is, but it does have some brilliant plates in it, which is what we as wargamers are interested in. So that's the sort of plates that are in it. So it's the different sort of looks of various Roman chaps. It goes through the history of the empire. So we have, we get more and more stuff, but it also has things on Persians, which is cool because I do like the Persians, as we'll come to find out when I answer one of my questions. And it gives you quite a nice little breakdown. I mean, this is the latter empire in the east. So there you go. That's a good book, and I'm very pleased I splashed out and got that. And the other one I got was this one, the Complete Roman Legions. It promised a lot more than it actually delivered from the point of view of plates to do with the look and feel of the army. But by gum, has it got a lot of information in it. It's just incredible. Tons of information about the legions in here, and it goes right from the late Republican period right through to the end of Byzantine. Well, not Byzantine, but almost late antiquity, and it's very, very good. It's got lots of stuff on wars and things, and battles and things like that, which is good stuff. So that's my own projects at the moment. Like I say, I haven't done any painting really. A bit of dibbling, a bit of dabbling. That's about it really. The other thing turned up, pocket battles, and this is quality. This is really good. I'll do a video on this, all right, because it is top. So that came, and that's about it really from the point of view of my hobby world. And so what's been going on. So, without further ado, shall we have a look at some questions that have been put in the comments from last week's video? And we'll start off with Tony Blythen, or Blythe. I can't really say what it is, but there you go. Sorry, Tony. He said, when do you think that acrylics eclipsed enamels for mini painting and why? And he says it's an obvious question. When I was a kid, we used to use Humbrol enamels to paint planes with, but by gum, they were smelly. And it ruined brushes. But that's probably to do with our skill level at the time, you know. And it stunk, and it was just a pain. There's so many things, you know, like thinning to clean brushes and all that sort of stuff. It smelled, it was sticky. If it got on your clothes, you were knackered. It was that sort of, you know, I just found it horrible. And I first encountered, well, how can I put it? I used acrylics quite a lot when I was at college. We used to use the sort of gouache-esque acrylics, you know, in tubes. Gouache is a watercolour medium, but you use acrylics in the same way. That was that. So I used acrylics for that, and I didn't really start using acrylics until Games Workshop, or Citadel put acrylics out, and I've always used acrylics. Don't know why. Just easy, aren't they? They're just very, very, very straightforward, and that's what's available. As for eclipsing enamels, I don't know whether they have or not. I'm absolutely no idea. I presume so, because Humbrol and the like of Tamiya have brought out a lot of acrylic paints in the last few years, probably longer than the last few years. I just think acrylics are a much easier medium to use. They're not as hard wearing, of course. Enamels are much harder wearing. I think the name is the clue there. But acrylics are really, really flexible. I mean, I've got a thing here. Bear with me 1 second. I might have to edit myself back into this. Yes, I do have to edit myself back in it because I couldn't find it. The thing I was looking for. But what's his name? Mig Jimenez, or whatever his name is. He's done this video here on acrylic techniques for armoured fighting vehicles. One of the biggest things that shows you the impact of acrylics is when people like scale modelling starts to use acrylics. You know it's big, but all of the techniques in this are what you would consider traditional traditional sort of enamel techniques, but it shows you how you can do them with all of the acrylic products that are available from people like Vallejo. So, you know, it's got to be big, hasn't it? I don't know whether that answers the question, but that's just a view. I don't know when acrylics eclipsed enamels. Whether they have done or not, I don't know. I don't have the figures. I don't know, but they are a hell of a lot nicer to use from the point of view of they don't stink, and you don't need that much in the way of thinners because you just use water or medium or whatever. I use medium, but it's me. So there you go. Hope that answers your question there, Tony. Paul Albert asks a wee question. Well, he would do because he's Scottish. Who will you be painting up to fight your Romans? Well, in some ways, the Romans are as much of a victim of my imaginations as are the Napoleonics. Whilst I am painting them up in relationship to stuff like black powder, not black powder, Hail Caesar. My main use will be for my imaginations, so they'll be fighting anybody. But obviously they'll be fighting stuff from the ancient world and the other ranges that I like and the other armies that I like. One of them will be the Sassanian Empire, the Persians, who were basically a big thorn on the side of the Romans. I probably will do some Goth and Hun type people. I don't know whether I'll do anything other than I'll be concentrating on the Eastern stuff because I like the Eastern stuff. It's very colourful. Not that the Northern Europeans weren't colourful, but it's just that I just like the look of them. So it'll be the Sassanids mainly, and probably I don't know. I might do some Egyptians. Why? I don't know, but I do quite like the Egyptians. The Egyptians have got a good army look. Admittedly, they're quite a bit earlier than the Roman Empire, even the Republican Empire. But not so much the Republican Empire, I don't suppose, because they weren't an empire really. But the Republican Rome, the Egyptians are quite a bit before that as well. For the look that I like, but in my imagination world, it doesn't really matter. But they'll fight whoever I want to fight, I suppose. But at the same time, they will be done in a way that is historically accurate for them. So they will be able to fight conventional battles if ever they need to. So the 28mm early Imperials will be fighting a gamut of people that and the late Roman, the 15mm late Roman stuff will be fighting 15mm late Roman epoch armies as well. But there you go. That's my plan anyway. I have a habit of making plans and they never come to fruition. Anyway, Beckus asks, he says, will I be buying Command and Colours Napoleonics? Give us a chance. Do you know what I mean? I've only just got the Ancients one. That's going to take me a fair while to get through. I haven't sticked everything up yet. I tell you what, it's a boring task sticking them things up, but they need to be done. So it's one of those things I do when I'm bored. Do a few stickers, watch a few videos, that sort of stuff. So I probably will do, but not this year, I don't think. It seems an interesting game. I do like. I have read the rules on them. Not the rules because I've got the box, but the sort of like discussions that you see, all the discussions, and I've read that. And it looks quite interesting. So I will be getting it probably, but not anytime soon. Because it is a nice system of Command and Colours. And oh yes, right. I was having a conversation in the comments on another video with Mark J about various things, and he was asking about basing stuff. Now, I've done some basing videos, but not particularly basing videos. But it just brings me back to the subject of basing. Now, personally speaking, I try and base everything. Like with these Romans, I base them on coins, on 1p coins. I don't know what the equivalent is in other people's currencies, but that makes them more flexible. But at the same time, it depends what you're after in basing, doesn't it? I mean, some people's basing is phenomenal. They just look superb, and they're like little works of art of their own. But putting them on coins and then doing that sort of basing, it wouldn't work. It all depends what you're after. But what I will do at some point is I'll try and do some videos on my basing, because I've been through and I've been thinking about it. I've done a lot of little snippets and other videos and stuff on basing, but I've never actually done a video on basing, if you see what I mean. I know I've done the basing 6mm thing, but that was for Warboss Tay when I'd given him some 6mm miniatures and he was wanting. It went a bit dark then, didn't it? Did you notice? That's because all the screens went off in front of me. But I probably will put together a video on basing towards May time, I think. So there you go, Mark. I'll try my best to help you out. All right, well, thanks for watching. That is the end of the Muse. Don't forget about more about My Wargaming Life. We're still alive, and please go and have a go at some of the community projects that we've got, particularly the leader one, our glorious leader one that we're doing this month, and the general big build one, which is basically build an army for as cheap as you can. So go off and have a look at them. All right, well, thanks for watching. I'll catch you next week. Bye.